Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, where serious market researchers come for news, insights, and commentary about things happening in their industry. Notes and information that impact them both inside and outside their current places of work. Today, are researchers missing the point about System 1 and System 2? Some of them seem to be catching on, but maybe others are not. And then, the Atlanta Braves VP of Marketing discusses the must-have data that he can or almost can grab. RBDR sponsored today and this week by Symmetric Sampling, a division of Decision Analyst, providing sampling services to companies that place a very high value on representative samples, scientific sampling methods, and advanced fraud detection systems. You can learn more about Symmetric Sampling. We'll tell you about it at the end of today's report. A few weeks ago, I was at IIEX's Chicago conference, and I was bombarded by presentation after presentation that made references to System 1 level and System 2 level information. Now, I've also been overwhelmed by references to emotional versus rational decision making since Harvard Business School professor Gerald Zaltman raised the research world's collective consciousness about emotional decision making with his first book, How Customers Think. That was back in 2003. Now, David Penn, managing director and co-founder of Conquest, has blogged about System 1 and System 2 because he says he wants to clarify how brands are finally coming to understand that they must put joint faith in the emotional as well as the rational when it comes to consumers and their decision-making. Quote, research needs to break out of this either-or dichotomy and help brand owners see the whole picture, said Penn. The rationale is that brands work at both a System 1, which is the emotional and implicit, and System 2, the rational level. So looking at either one in isolation just misses the point. Conquest has developed a multivariate approach called mind modeling that encompasses all rational, implicit, and emotional beliefs about a brand and then attaches predictive values to each. The model is highly granular, according to Penn, and it's useful across many different business categories, each of whose emotional and rational drivers are quite variable. Penn's experiences have yet to find an instance, he says, where emotion does not explain at least 40% of why a brand is purchased, or where rational beliefs have become irrelevant. Next, Adam Zimmerman, the Atlanta Braves vice president of marketing, was interviewed by Sport Techie senior writer Mark J. Burns, and when asked what technology would he buy or build if money were no object, Zimmerman said, quote, all things to enable data and CRM applications and the human capital to analyze, provide insights, and work closely with the creative team to deliver campaigns and amplification all in real time. It's quite a mouthful. The Braves can generate multiple data points, he says, right now that service individual fans. So not only is it necessary to have the infrastructure to collect, organize, and store data, but Zimmerman said you need the human capital to overwhelm the data that you've already got and then deliver insights that are actionable and easily understood. Zimmerman insisted that it is insufficient to understand what your fan wants. Now you also need to introduce things to him or her that they didn't know that they wanted. Asked finally, as a sports fan, what sports-related service he could not live without, Zimmerman pointed to Twitter, which he called, quote, my companion for live events. Zimmerman said it provides him with a view from multiple perspectives in real time, along with the raw emotion that sports engenders. That's your Research Business Daily Report, which has been sponsored this week by Symmetric Sampling, a division of Decision Analysts, providing sampling services to companies that place a very high value on representative samples, scientific sampling methods, and advanced fraud detection systems. There is much that can be learned by going to the symmetricsampling.com website. I would recommend that you do so. And while you're at it, Decision Analyst President Jerry Thomas actually issued a blog last week called Clean and Pure Sampling. I found it to be worthwhile because it offers a very comprehensive review of the top-notch sampling practices that everybody can and should be following. I hope you have a great research day and that the rest of your research week is productive. Please have a great upcoming weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday for our final week of RBDR for 2016. Have a great one.